Appeals meeting to order. Can we start with a roll call?
Sure. Alberto Paratori.
Aziz Hassan.
Norma Drummond?
Rocco Limatone.
Art Mahoney.
Thank you. Can I ask everyone to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. I want to start by saying Happy New Year to everybody. Here's to 2024. Snow policies, we kind of dodged a bullet tonight. They were expecting snow, but thankfully. So in the event that you get assigned for a public hearing, or you've got to come back next month, just so you know, if the town hall is closed, then our meeting is canceled. It's not postponed, it's not rescheduled, it's just canceled. And then anything that's on our agenda just gets moved to the next agenda, all right? But hopefully a number of you that are on there will be finished up tonight. So let me go over, well, actually, our next two meetings are going to be Tuesday, February 27th and Tuesday, March 26th. We have one set of minutes to approve that I want to congratulate Julie that I didn't find a single thing in there that needed to be corrected, so.
And neither did I.
So do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
No, not as amended as
I
we
was
normally say.
gonna say.
All right, so the way it works is first on our agenda is public hearings. These are applications that this board has already had a chance to review, so we've already asked our questions. I think in one case, somebody had to come back with some additional information, but essentially these are really applications we've already had a chance to review. Once we've reviewed those applications, they go up for a public hearing, which is an opportunity for neighbors to come out and tell us anything that they know about or anything that they might be concerned about, or if they support the application. So the first part of our agenda is these public hearings, and then the second is the reviews. There is no public comment on any reviews. At the appropriate time, we will notice neighbors and we'll schedule them for public hearings when we're finished with our basic review of them. So getting right into business, we have an adjourned public hearing. Item number 1, Appeal 4069, Jessica DeRosa, 867 Route 376, Hopewell Junction, requesting a 126-foot front line, 93-foot left side, 61-foot right side, and 9-foot rear line variance for an existing building for a doggy daycare, and an 82-foot rear line, 127-foot left side, and 101-foot right side variance for an existing fenced-in exercise pen pursuant to the schedule of bulk regulations of the zoning ordinance. Do I have a motion to open the public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
So good evening.
Hi,
I know you've been with us for months at this point now, but
it's okay.
just to explain for the public, this is a business, and so it requires site plan approval from the planning board at the same time. So I understand in December, you did get that site plan approval. For our board members, the planning board also did the seeker review. So this board, because it was a coordinated review, will rely on the seeker that was completed by the planning board. Were there any changes to the site plan made by the planning board? Did anything change on there from the information that we have?
So the only things were, I'm gonna talk with the town planner, we're gonna set something up. She's gonna, like you had mentioned with the trees outside, we're gonna work on that. We're gonna look into some just like extra soundproofing from outside. We set time limitations on when the dogs can go outside in the morning and nighttime. I believe that was everything.
Okay, so just to, I guess, recap and get it on, your operation essentially 7 in the morning till 7 p.m., essentially that's when people would come and be dropping
Yes.
off their dogs. Periodically, you may have overnight boarding, not all the time.
Correct.
But periodically, you may have overnight boarding. Vacation times probably more so than others.
And we did also just implement a policy that to eliminate traffic during the day, now the door is also locked at 10 and opens back up at 3.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
now there's 7 to 9:30-ish is really drop-off times, and then 3 to 7 is the
Pickup
pickup
time.
to eliminate traffic going in and out all day.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I have said this before, I walk by this site all the time. It's on my way to the gym, so I have said, I've never heard, actually, at this point, I have now heard a dog bark once, and I'm not even sure it was from as opposed to the neighborhood, okay? But there's definitely traffic. I'm pretty amazed at how many people are dropping off dogs that, and because they're in the parking lot too. They come out as the parents, doggy parents are bringing them to their cars. But the operation, from what I see on the outside, again, for the couple of seconds that I'm walking by, it looks like it's run very well. So,
Thank you.
comments or questions from board members?
I'm good.
I have none.
I'm good.
Were you able to spread that gravel?
I didn't do it right before the snow, so it hasn't moved yet, but.
Okay, so
now
we're
I'm
approved. Again, what
I
we
have the guy
is what
ready,
it
it's
is.
just weather permitting.
Okay. There's just, again, for the board, there was a pile of gravel that was delivered with the intent that the dogs would be able to, you want to clear an area that gets a little too muddy, right?
Yeah, so the back end, because it just like piles up in the middle, I talked to somebody and they suggest to put drain rock in so it can kind of just flow.
Right.
So do that in a patch.
Okay, so again, knowing that the planning board has taken action, and they had their own public hearing, so, any issues may have come up there, but none that were passed on to us. So is there anyone here who wishes to speak for or against the request from Jessica DeRosa, 867 Route 376, Hopewell Junction, for a number of variances related to an existing building for a doggy daycare I said the address on 376. Seeing none, do I have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. This is appeal number 4069. Applicant is Jessica DeRosa, requesting a 126 front line and 93 feet left side, 61 feet right side, and 9 feet rear line variances from an existing building for a doggy daycare, and a 82 feet rear line and 127 left side line and 101 right side line variances for an existing fenced-in exercise pen, and in total, the variances. Resolution offered by zoning board member Aziz Hassan, whereas the applicant is proposing a doggy care at the property, and whereas the applicant previously obtained variances for a doggy daycare at another location pursuant to appeal number 3981, and whereas after a landlord dispute, the applicant moved into the property without obtaining the necessary approval from the planning board and ZBA first, and whereas the variances are from the requirements of the Schedule of Bulk Regulations and Section 194-55.1 of the zoning code, and whereas this is an unlisted action under SECRA, and whereas the planning board serves as a lead agency and approved a negative declaration and site plan amendment as at its December 19, 2023 meeting, and whereas the site plan amendment was a condition upon the ZBA granting the variances requested by the applicant, and whereas the legal notice was published in the Southern Duchess News on September 20th, 2023, and whereas the Zoning Board of Appeals held a public hearing on September 26, 2023, which was adjourned to October 24, 2023, November 28, 2023, and then held on January 23rd, 2024, and whereas the Zoning Board of Appeals finds that the granting of the variance will not produce an undesirable change in the character of the neighborhood, since the Planning Board and ZBA have conditioned safeguards to prevent noise from emanating from the property, and the applicant has a strict programmatic schedule for the participating dogs. The desired result cannot be achieved by some other means due to the layout of the property and the pre-existing building. The variances are substantial. The variances will not have an adverse effect or impact on the physical or environmental condition of the building, as the building is pre-existing. Now therefore be it resolved that the Zoning Board of Appeals hereby approves the request of Jessica DeRosa of Perfect Paws for 126-foot front line, 93 feet left side, 61 feet right side, and 9 feet rear line variances from an existing building for a doggy daycare, and 82 feet rear line, 127 feet left side line, and 101 right side line variances for an existing fenced-in exercise pen, subject to the following conditions. 1, compliances with all the requirements of Section 194-55.1 of the Town Code, and the applicant did of the Town Code, that the applicant did not receive and did not receive a variances for. 2, sound absorbing material shall be installed within the building and around the perimeter of the outdoor runway and exercise pen, subject to the approval of the town engineer or town planner. 3, an escrow of $2,000 shall be held by the building department for 1 year from the date of certificate of occupancy to be used to hire an acoustical engineer or qualified noise expert should there be any discernible noise emanating from the property or other complaints. 4, the ZBA may require that the applicant to reappear at a meeting in 1 year to provide the ZBA with a status update. In its discretion, the ZBA may require additional soundproofing or other measures to ensure that the community is not impacted by the use. Be it further resolved that within 5 business days of the adoption of this resolution, the chair or other duly authorized member of the zoning board shall cause a copy of the resolution to be filed with the town clerk and a copy sent to the applicant owner.
Is there a second?
Second.
Votes as follows: Aziz,
Aye.
Rocco,
Aye.
Alberto,
Aye.
Art,
Aye.
and myself, aye. Your motion carries. You are all set.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too.
Bye-bye now.
All right, application, item number 2, Appeal 4087, Matthew Travellini. Close enough?
Good evening.
Good evening. 2 East Vacation Drive, Wappingers Falls, requesting an 18-foot sideline and 17-foot rear line variance for an existing above-ground pool pursuant to the schedule of bulk regulations of the zoning ordinance. Do I have a motion to open the public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
So just to recap, we went through your application at our last meeting in November. You purchased this home in September, last fall. At the time, as you were going through your closing, you discovered, I guess you had a survey done, and you discovered that the pool was not permitted properly, at least. You also discovered that there was a cabin or a shed of sorts, something that was over the property line for your neighbor?
Yes.
So you've moved that, or you are moving that?
Yes, we moved it.
Okay. But when we talked about it, there's an existing fence, there is large bushes that exist, so there is vegetation that screens the pool from your neighbor. And I think that was pretty much it. So, any comments or questions from board members?
The
I'm good.
fence that is in your neighbor's property, have you moved it? Or you have agreed with the neighbor?
Actually, what we talked about was the neighbor actually liked that fence, didn't mind the fence being in their yard.
Okay,
So,
then I'm okay.
that's actually reflected in the minutes.
Okay, I'm good.
So is there anyone here who wishes to speak for or against the request from Matthew Travellini to East Vacation Drive, Wappingers Falls, requesting an 18-foot sideline and 17-foot rear line variance for an existing above-ground pool? Seeing none, do I have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Appeal number 4087, applicant is Matthew Travaglini. Request for 18 feet sideline and 18 feet rear line variances from the requirements of the Schedule of Bulk Regulations in Section 194-95 of the Town Code for an existing above-ground pool. Variances. Location is 2 East Vacation Drive, Wappinger Falls. Tax number 6458-08-804915. Zoning district is R1/3, I believe, 1/3. Resolution offered by zoning board member Al Paratori. Whereas the applicants recently purchased the property, and whereas during the closing process, the applicants learned that the existing above-ground pool had not received all the required permits and that an existing shed was straddling the neighbor's property, and whereas the applicants are seeking to legalize the existing conditions, and whereas the pool is enclosed in fencing, and whereas this is a type 2 action under SICRA, and no further environmental review is required, and whereas the legal notice was published in the Southern Dutchess News on January 17, 2024, and whereas the Zoning Board of Appeals held a public hearing on January 23, 2024, and whereas the Zoning Board of Appeals finds that The granting of the variances will not produce an undesirable change in the character of the neighborhood since the pool pre-exists the applicant's ownership. The desired result cannot be achieved by some other means due to the layout of the property and pre-existing location of the pool. The variances could be deemed substantial, but potential visual impacts of the pool are mitigated by the fencing. The variances will not have an adverse effect or impact on the physical and environmental conditions as the pool is pre-existing. Now therefore be it resolved that the Zoning Board of Appeals hereby approves the request by Matthew Travaglini for 18-foot sideline and 17-foot rear line variances from the requirements of the Schedule of Bulk Regulations and Section 194-95 of the Town Code for an existing above-ground pool upon the condition that the existing shed be moved onto the applicant's property. Be it further resolved that within 5 business days of the adoption of this resolution, the chair or other duly authorized member of the zoning board shall cause a copy of the resolution to be filed with the town clerk and a copy sent to the applicant owner.
Is there a second?
Second.
Votes as follows: Aziz,
Aye.
Rocco,
Aye.
Alberto,
Aye.
Art,
Aye.
and myself, aye. Your motion carries. You guys are all set. Now you just deal with the building department.
Yeah.
Okay?
Thank you.
Make
Have a
sure
good
your
night.
pool gets its permits. All right, item number 3, Appeal 4088, Brianna Russo, 5 Ryan Drive, Hopewell Junction, requesting a 94-foot and 71-foot sideline and 145-foot rear line variance for a dog kennel pursuant to the Schedule of Bulk Regulations of the zoning ordinance. Do I have a motion to open the public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Good evening. So again, we had a chance to go through your application in November. Yours is different than the doggy daycare that we just saw in that you're proposing to do grooming here, you're proposing to do boarding, you're going to have puppies for sale, and training of dogs here.
Yes, and retail supplies as well.
Okay, that's, so retail, that's fine. This is a building right along 82. It's the old medical group, Children's Medical Group building. So the building exists, it's in a quite industrial area. So it's got an existing parking lot. You don't need to add on that. One thing we talked about was there was a shed in the back. Were you going to move that? Or
It's
not?
gone already.
It's gone already,
Yeah.
okay, good. You said it wasn't in great condition or something, so, okay. So, because I didn't see it added to the description, so that's why I just
Yeah.
wanted to make sure it wasn't there. The only thing is that there are neighbors across the street, so, but there's probably the noise on 82 is probably going to
Right.
dissipate any barking or anything like that, but, so comments or questions from board members?
I'm good.
I'm good.
I have none.
Is there anyone here who wishes to speak for or against the request from Brianna Russo, 5 Ryan Drive, Hopewell Junction, requesting a 94-foot and 71-foot sideline and 145-foot rear line variance for a dog kennel pursuant to the Schedule of Bulk Regulations? Seeing none, do I have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Actually, I do not know if we have this resolution.
Yeah, we do.
I didn't see it.
We do.
I don't have
Do you
it.
need it?
It's 4069.
Okay, that's okay. I don't have it, but
Somebody else want to offer?
Yep.
Robert,
Got it.
you have it? Okay, you can.
Yeah, I got it. It's a friendly doggy night tonight.
Yeah.
It's appeal number 4069. Applicant is Brianna Russo of Forever Friends. Project is a 94-foot left side, 71-foot right side, and 145-foot rear line variances for a proposed 40 by 50 puppy kennel located at 5 Ryan Drive in Hopewell Junction, and the resolution is offered by zoning board member Rocco Limatone. Whereas the applicant is proposing a puppy kennel at the property, and whereas the variances are from the requirements of the Schedule of Bulk Regulations and Section 194-55.1 of the zoning code. Whereas this is an unlisted action under SECRA, and whereas the planning board served as the lead agency and approved a negative declaration and site plan amendment at its December 19th, 2023 meeting. And whereas the site plan amendment was conditioned upon the ZBA granting the variances requested by the applicant. And whereas the legal notice was published in the Southern Dutchess News on January 17th of '24, whereas the Zoning Board of Appeals held a public hearing on January 23rd, 2024, and whereas the Zoning Board of Appeals finds that the granting of the variances will not produce an undesirable change in the character of the neighborhood, since the Planning Board and ZBA have conditioned safeguards to prevent noise from emanating from the property. And the applicant has a strict programmatic schedule for the participating dogs. The desired result cannot be achieved by some other means due to the layout of the property and the pre-existing building. The variances are substantial. The variances will not have an adverse effect or impact on the physical or environmental conditions, as the building, again, is pre-existing. Now therefore be it resolved that the Zoning Board of Appeals hereby approves the request by Brianna Russo of Forever Friends of Hudson Valley for a 94-foot left side, 75-foot right side, and 145-foot rear line variance for a proposed 40 by 50 puppy kennel subject to the following conditions. Condition 1, compliance with all other requirements of Section 194-55.1 of the Town Code that the applicant did not receive a variance for. Condition 2, sound-absorbing material shall be installed within the building and around the perimeter of any outdoor runways, and exercise pens, subject to the approval of the town engineer or town planner. Condition 3, an escrow of $2,000 shall be held by the building department for 1 year from the date of certificate of occupancy, to be used to hire an acoustical engineer or qualified noise expert should there be any discernible noise emanating from the property or other complaints. Condition 4, the ZBA, the zoning board, may require the applicant to reappear at a meeting in 1 year to provide the ZBA with a status update. In its discretion, the ZBA may require additional soundproofing or other measures to ensure that the community is not impacted by the use. Be it further resolved that within 5 days of the adoption of this resolution, the chair or other duly authorized member of the zoning board shall cause a copy of the resolution to be filed with the town clerk and a copy sent to the applicant owner.
Okay, before I get a second, Jackie, the information on the front of this resolution is not this application. The appeal number, the tax map number,
Yeah, that is right, yeah.
okay? So if you can include in your resolution with the correction of the tax map number and the appeal number, I think the...
Should be
is this-
4088, right.
Right, it should be 408, but again, tax map number, I don't know what that is, and I don't know what the zoning district is here, because it is, I don't know if this is an industrial district over here. Okay, so it's just with the amendment to your resolution that Jackie correct, our clerk correct the application information in the front part of the resolution.
Make a motion to amend the resolution to correct the appeal number from 4069 to 4088,
Along with other,
along with the tax
and-
map
and-
number
And potentially zoning district. This might be, an industrial district.
and the zoning district to ascertain that it's the
You have
correct
it,
zoning
okay.
district. Read.
It is B3, okay.
B3, and I have the...
All right, so just the tax map number needs
Yeah.
correcting. That's fine.
Okay.
So now can I have a second?
second as amended.
Votes as follows: Aziz.
Aye.
Rocco.
Aye.
Alberto.
Aye.
Art.
Aye.
And myself, aye. Your motion
Thank you.
carries.
Thank
You're all
you.
set. Now you'll deal with the building department.
Congratulations.
Thank you, guys.
All right. All right, item number 4, our last public hearing of the evening. Appeal 4089, Keith Rango, 162 Schluter Drive, Hopewell Junction, requesting a 39-foot rear line variance for a proposed relocation of a 140-square-foot gazebo and an 8-foot rear line variance for proposed patio pursuant to the schedule of bulk regulations of the zoning ordinance. Do I have a motion to open the public hearing?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? It's like stereo sound here. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, so we met with you in November. The gazebo is there now. Unfortunately, it was placed kind of not entirely on your property. So you were looking to move it to a more appropriate location. There's a patio also around that, and so when we looked at the measurements of the patio and against the code, we also need to address the fact that you want to continue the patio. But Schluter Drive is a very wooded and, it's not a very traveled area, so I don't think this should be quite impactful to your neighbors. So comments or questions, there's vegetation between you and your neighbors, you told us, but you did also say that you were thinking you might be putting in some more trees.
Yes.
Again, if your neighbors are concerned about it, that would certainly be something to address. Comments or questions from board members?
The existing shed, has that been removed or is going to be removed in the future?
It will be removed and
That's
replaced
where
by
the
the
gazebo is going.
Going to replace that,
Okay,
and then we'll all be good.
good.
So,
So,
so would we make a condition of any resolution if we grant one,
That what?
that it needs to be removed, the
This
shed?
is where the gazebo's going. He can't put the gazebo here if the shed is there.
So, but the shed's going to be removed from the parcel?
So you're not, are you going to move the shed to another location, or you're just,
Taking it down.
yeah, okay,
Replacing with the gazebo.
okay.
Okay.
okay, I'm good.
I'm good.
All right, so is there anyone here who wishes to speak regarding the appeal 4089 Keith Rango, 162 Schluter Drive, Hopewell Junction, requesting a 39-foot rear line variance for a proposed relocation of a 140-square-foot gazebo and an 8-foot rear line variance for a proposed patio? Seeing none, do I have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye. Mark?
Resolution?
Appeal number 4089, applicant Keith Rango, request for a 39-foot rear line variance from the Schedule of Bulk Regulations and Section 194-107 of the Town Code for a proposed relocation of a 140-square-foot gazebo and an 8-foot rear line variance from the requirements of the Schedule of Bulk Regulations for a proposed patio. Location at 162 Schluter Drive, Hopewell Junction. Resolution offered by Zoning Board Member Art Mahoney. Whereas the applicant purchased the property from a foreclosure sale and not all of the structures on the property were in compliance with the town code. And whereas the gazebo already exists that straddles the neighbor's property and is being proposed to be relocated to where an existing shed will be removed. And whereas this is a type 2 action under SECRA and no further environmental review is required. And whereas the legal notice was published in the Southern Dutchess News on January 17th, 2024. And whereas the Zoning Board of Appeals held a public hearing on January 23rd, 2024. And whereas the Zoning Board of Appeals finds that the granting of the variances will not produce an undesirable change in the character of the neighborhood, since the gazebo will be moved onto the applicant's property. The desired result cannot be achieved by some other means due to the layout of the property and the conditions that existed upon the foreclosure sale. The variance could be deemed substantial, but the proposed variances would improve upon the existing conditions. The variances will not have an adverse effect or impact on the physical or environmental conditions. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Zoning Board of Appeals hereby approves the request by Keith Rango for a 39-foot rear line variance from the Schedule of Bulk Regulations and Section 194-107 of the Town Code for a proposed relocation of a 140-square-foot gazebo and an 8-foot rear line variance from the requirements of the Schedule of Bulk Regulations for a proposed patio. Be it further resolved that within 5 business days of the adoption of this resolution, the chair or other duly authorized member of the zoning board shall cause a copy of the resolution to be filed with the town clerk and a copy sent to the applicant owner.
Is there a second?
Second.
Votes as follows: Aziz.
Aye.
Rocco.
Aye.
Alberto.
Aye.
Art.
Aye.
And myself, aye. Your motion carries, you're all set.
Okay.
All right?
Congratulations.
All right, so that's it for public hearings. So what's left is 3 reviews, and I only see 2 of you out there, so we're going to find out who's not here. All right, item number 5, Appeal 4075, Christina Thompson and Guris Lopez, 39 Elk Road, Hopewell Junction, requesting a 3-foot sideline and 10-foot rear line variance for a proposed 300-square-foot deck pursuant to the schedule of bulk regulations of the zoning ordinance. Christina Thompson.
No, but they're not going to be here.
Oh.
Still haven't gotten the survey.
Got it. Okay, so now we know mystery solved. All right, so number 6, Appeal 4091, Kenneth Walshak.
This was filed in July.
Yeah, they're having some issues, yes.
Okay, so do we need to put it back?
Public hearing, so.
I understand, so, okay, then.
They're fine. They call me every month. They'll let me know that.
Okay, then, yeah, we can continue.
The cost of surveys has jumped significantly, so.
Okay, no problem.
All right, so Kenneth Walshak, 3 Fox Road, Hopewell Junction, requesting a 2-foot variance for an existing 6-foot fence and an 8-foot sideline variance for an existing 10-foot by 14 or 140-square-foot shed pursuant to the schedule of bulk regulations of the zoning ordinance. Good evening.
Hello, how you guys doing?
Good, so this is our first chance of seeing this. We use this opportunity to make sure we understand what you're looking for and, understand everything. So let's take a look at what you proposed to us.
There was an updated survey and then filed from today.
Okay, that's the survey that was in there. Okay, got it. So Fox Road, you are in Worley Homes,
Correct, yep.
which is known, the lot here is just over a quarter of an acre. So the ability to do much of anything in this yard is likely going to need a variance. So you're looking to expand your deck? What are you looking to do?
So I purchased the home in 2021, and we installed the fence and the shed.
Okay.
And so at that time, the survey that was on file, we had a string line done, and, we tried to meet the setback requirement.
Right.
So it was failed at that time.
Yeah, you got awfully close, but.
Yeah, so they had us get a survey just to make sure that the locations were correct. So just received the survey a couple months ago to ensure everything was correct. It did not meet the setback requirements. And so that's what we're requesting, the variance to be able to
And the
continue
shed
having
has what kind of a base to it? Can you turn it around is my question?
Yeah, it's
Not
on
easily.
a gravel base. It's not staked in the ground or anything of that nature.
Okay. But you don't want to turn it around? It doesn't make sense to turn it around, or what?
It can happen, it just wouldn't be easy.
Which direction is the door facing?
It's facing the backyard, so if you're in the backyard, you'd be facing the door.
Okay. And there's a fence that hides it, screens it from the road?
Correct, yes.
Okay. All right, so tell us about this deck.
The deck,
Deck there now?
yes, the deck is not part of the variance process. That's been there since purchase. It's just the fence and the shed.
Oh, sorry, I'm reading Elk Road. Okay.
That's okay.
So that's just your 6-foot fence. So where is the 6-foot fence?
Around the entire perimeter, so you can see it's very close to the property line, so it's about 1.5 feet as opposed
That's
to
the
the 2-foot
issue. You're not meeting the
setback.
2-foot
Correct.
requirement.
Yes.
Not for height, that's what I was thinking. It's a 2-foot, that's supposed to be in from your
Correct,
property line.
yes.
How long has the fence been here?
3 years.
Do your neighbors, has there been any concern
Preferred
about
from
it?
the privacy standpoint.
Have you talked with your neighbors
I
about?
have, yes. I'm very close with Krakenberg and Engstrom. The other neighbor,
They're
don't
behind
talk to
you.
as much.
Okay. All right. If you can get letters, or they'll get a letter from us inviting them to come to the public hearing, but if you can get a letter from them, we can
Okay.
read that into the record just to show that they're in support of this. All right, so the issue is that it's not, when you put a 6-foot fence anywhere in your yard, it's not, doesn't belong in the front of your house, but when you put it even in your backyard, it has to be 2 feet in so that you maintain the right to maintain that fence. When you put it on the property or awfully close to the property line, it limits your ability to do that without having to go on your neighbor's property. All right, comments or questions from board members?
I was just trying to figure out, we had the survey that came with the application, and then we have another survey that is dated, stamped January 23rd, 2024. And I'm trying to figure out what's the difference between these two surveys, because there's
So one of the survey, you'll notice that it says 7.1 on the corner from the shed to
Yeah, there was
the
no
property line. So they didn't include that, and so
Okay.
they just wanted to have that on file, so it
Okay.
got resent.
I'm good then. Then I'm good. So I was just trying to figure out what,
I have no issues.
motion to advertise?
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So Jackie will give you information about the sign that's required,
Okay,
and then we'll see you again next month.
okay,
Okay?
Ken?
yes,
Did Jackie talk to you about the mechanical permits?
yes.
Okay.
Yep, we were gonna square these away, and then that was gonna be done as well, HVAC. Yep,
So he's got a couple mechanical permits for as-built AC that he has to pull.
Okay. Is it a violation, or is it it
Yeah,
is?
but I didn't issue it, but it
Okay,
should be
so,
made a
but
condition.
that's my question, is it an official violation that's been issued that we shouldn't be, okay,
No, I didn't issue the violation.
okay.
My goal is to always just get them to comply.
No, right, well,
Yeah,
and
without having to do that.
that's fine.
Thank you.
All right, so I'll check this. And so the last one, item number 7, Appeal 4092 Ryan Folks, 2 West Tilden Place, Hopewell Junction, requesting a 10-foot sideline variance for a pool equipment pursuant to the schedule of bulk regulations of the zoning ordinance.
Hello.
I was going to guess it was you.
The last one, right?
Yeah,
So my husband couldn't be here. He's out of town for work, so it's just me today.
okay. So for the record, your name is?
Marguerite Folks.
Okay, thank you. So again, first time we're seeing this, if you could just take us through. So the pool was installed,
Okay, yes.
and the equipment didn't go where it was supposed to, or people didn't know this was a requirement, or?
No, it's just for us as homeowners preferred to be on the side of the home, which doesn't give us a 25-foot setback. It only allows for a
Is the
15.
pool installed yet, or?
Yes, it's already installed because I have the
And the equipment
permit.
is there?
No, it's not there yet. It hasn't been installed. It's basically, the project's basically on hold until we get this approved.
Got it, okay. So as a homeowner, you are looking to have it in this location because?
A few reasons. It'll be right beside the gas and the electric meter. And so for us, it'll be like maximum efficiency. And it'll also be more cost-effective versus putting it on the other side of the house.
Okay.
So that's for those reasons why. And aesthetically, I feel like it'll be better at that location
Okay.
versus in a different location.
Is there screening for your neighbor? Pool equipment can make some noise, so is there some screening for your neighbor? Bushes around it, any or trees?
Yeah, we
fence, or-
plan on putting bushes around it, evergreen bushes around, yeah, so that way. And it'll be like a newer model pool equipment, so it'll
Right,
be,
which is a lot quieter than the.
right, it'll minimize noising. It won't be any louder than their AC units that are right beside our home, so,
Quieter than the AC, actually.
yeah, it won't be any louder than that.
They already have a lot of screening at the back
Okay.
that screens the pool. So if they bring that line of trees down a little further, it will hide the equipment.
Okay,
And we already spoke with our direct neighbors across the street at 3 West Tilden Place and also at 6 West Tilden, and they were fine with it.
okay.
We also spoke with the HOA board president, and he said he prefers it on the side of the house.
Okay. This is the house, the pictures that you took, it looks like there's an ice skating rink in your backyard,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
the pool.
yeah. Yeah,
Perfect for
that's-
skating right now.
Yeah,
Yeah, your cover was just perfect.
yeah. The dogs tried it the other day and it freaked me out.
I mean, just be careful of deer or anything.
Yes,
because
yes.
Sometimes they don't notice the difference.
Yes.
All right, good. Comments or questions from board members?
I'm good. Motion to advertise.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Jackie will give you information about the sign that you have to put up,
Okay,
and then we'll see you next month.
okay, thank
Okay.
you.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thanks, everyone.